Everyone's talking about AI replacing jobs, replacing workers, replacing entire departments. But nobody's having the real conversation. The question is not whether AI will take your job. The question is whether AI is going to make you a worse leader. And for most people, the answer is already yes. Here's what I mean. I've spent years working with leaders, teams, and organizations. I've run projects, led operations, and trained thousands of professionals. And what I'm seeing right now is something that nobody is talking about. The leaders who are leaning hardest into AI are the same ones losing trust of their teams. They're getting faster, they're getting more efficient, and the people have never felt more disconnected. So today I want to break down what leadership actually looks like in the AI era. Not the hype, not the fear. The real practical truth about what separates the leaders who will thrive from the ones who just become irrelevant. And I'm going to give you 5 things that AI will never be able to do for you as a leader, no matter how advanced technology gets. Let's set the stage for a second. Right now, everybody has access to the same tools: ChatGPT, Claude, Copilot, Gemini. They're all available. Many of them you can get for free. And that's the part most people are missing. When everyone has the same tools, the tools are no longer the advantage. Think about that. If every leader on the planet could use the same AI to write emails, analyze data, build reports, and summarize meetings, then none of those things differentiate you anymore. It's like giving every basketball player the same shoes. The shoes help, but the shoes don't make you an athlete. So the question becomes, if AI levels the playing field on tools, what's actually left? And the answer is you. Your judgment, your courage, your ability to execute when things get uncomfortable. Simon Sinek said something recently that stuck with me. He said, AI is a mirror. It reflects who we are. It does not have courage. It does not have insecurity. It doesn't have a sense of responsibility. It just reflects who we are. And I think he's right. But I also think we need to go further than that. Because knowing that AI cannot feel just isn't enough. Leaders need to know what to actually do differently. So let me walk you through the 5 things that will define leadership in this era. And none of them are about technology. All of them are about execution. The first thing AI will never do is go first. What do I mean by that? Leadership at its core is about absorbing risks so your team does not have to. It's about raising your hand when no one else will. It's about saying, I will take the blame if this doesn't work. AI does not do that. AI responds. It reacts. It generates output when you give it a prompt. But it never initiates. It never says, I think we should try something different, Justin, and I'm willing to be wrong about it and take accountability. And here's the thing. In the AI era, going first is more valuable than ever. Because when everything feels automated and polished and optimized, the human who raises their hand, who speaks up in the meeting, and who makes the unpopular call, that person stands out in ways that used to just be ordinary. Going first used to be expected of leaders. Now it's rare, and rare is where trust is built. Number 2, AI will never have a hard conversation for you. And trust me, people are trying. I've seen leaders use ChatGPT to write their performance review. Use AI to draft "we need to talk" messages, and use automation to deliver bad news through an email instead of a phone call. And listen, I get it. Hard conversations are uncomfortable. That is literally why they are called hard conversations. But here's what happens when you outsource the discomfort. Your team doesn't feel led. They feel managed. And there's a massive difference between those two things. A managed team hits targets. A led team will run through walls. And the difference between the two almost always comes down to one thing: whether the leader had the courage to sit across from someone and say their real thing, face to face, with no filter, with no AI polish. I've had to deliver difficult feedback. I've had to let people go. I've had to tell clients their project was failing. And not once has a chatbot been able to do that for me in a way that preserves the relationship. Because people don't remember the words. They remember how you made them feel. AI does not feel anything. Number 3, AI will never build trust through struggle. This might be the most important one, so stay with me. We tend to trust people who have been through something, not people who have been through nothing. Think about the leader you respect the most. I guarantee that person has a story about a time things went sideways and they figured it out anyway. That is how trust works. It's not built in the wins, it's built in the struggle. It's built when the team sees you stay calm when the deadline moves, when the budget gets cut, when the plan falls apart and you don't panic. AI skips that struggle. It gives you a shortcut. It gives you the answer without process. And that sounds great until you realize that your team doesn't trust the answer. They trust the person who fought to find it. I've worked on projects where everything went wrong. Scope creep, stakeholder conflict, team burnout, all of it. And those projects are the one that built the strongest teams. Not because the outcome was perfect, but because the process was honest. You just can't automate that. And if you try, people are going to feel the difference. Number 4, AI will never read the room. This is one that tricks up even the smartest leaders because data-driven decision-making is real. And analytics matter, and dashboards matter. But there's an entire layer of information that never shows up in a report. The way someone hesitates before answering, maybe the energy shift in a meeting when a certain topic comes up, or the person who stopped contributing last week and nobody noticed. AI can analyze sentiment, it can flag keywords, but it can't walk into a room and feel what is happening beneath the surface. And that is where the best leadership decisions actually get made. Not from the data, but from the room. From the conversation nobody wanted to have, and from the silence that tells you more than any words could. I've been in rooms where the data said one thing and the room said something completely different. And every time I trusted the data over the room, I regretted it. Every time I trusted the room, even when the data disagreed, the outcome was better. That doesn't mean to ignore data. It means to understand that data is one input, the room is another. And the best leaders know how to weight both properly. And number 5, and this is a big one, my friends, AI is never going to take accountability and own the outcome from you. You can use AI to build the plan. You can use AI to analyze the risk. You can use AI to draft the proposal, the strategy, the communication plan. But when it fails, AI doesn't stand up in front of the team and say, that was on me. That's what leadership is. Leadership isn't about having the best tools. It's about standing behind the result, good or bad, and taking full ownership of what happened. This is where I see the biggest gap right now. A lot of leaders are using AI to make decisions, but they're not owning the decisions that AI helped them make. So when something goes wrong, the instinct is to say, well, the AI recommended it. But that's not leadership. That's hiding. The best leaders in the AI era will use every tool available to them, but they'll never outsource accountability. Because the moment your team sees you deflect responsibility to a tool, your credibility is gone, and you do not ever get that back. Execution is not about who has the best tech stack. It's about who stands behind the work. So let me bring this back. AI is not going anywhere, and I'm not here to tell you to fear it or fight it. I use AI every day. I teach people how to use AI. I think it's one of the most powerful tools we've ever had access to, but tools don't lead. People do. And in an era where every leader has the same tools, the ones who win will be the ones who go first, have hard conversations, build trust through struggle, read the room, and own the outcome. None of those things require a subscription, and none of them require a prompt. They just require you to show up, fully human, fully accountable, and fully committed to the people you lead. That is leadership in the AI era. And if you're watching this, I already know you care enough to do it. If this hit home, do me a favor. Drop a comment below and tell me which of these 5 things you struggle with the most. I read every comment, and I want to know what you are dealing with on your teams right now. And if you want to go deeper on leading in the AI era, make sure to subscribe. I put out content every week on exactly how to execute, not just talk about it. I'll see you in the next one.